I know there are some politicians in the room today and some politicians that aren't. I'm not picking on those in the room, nor am I letting the ones that aren't here off the hook. I'm not picking on any political parties or individuals. I am addressing all of the elected politicians of Northern Ireland, regardless of party or allegiance. I suppose that's to give you some kind of warning about what's about to happen. American author Don DeLillo said, "People in power make their arrangements in secret." And that has always been the case. And the people of any country in the world have had to endure that since the ancient Greeks invented politics and democracy in the first place. But I think that people of Northern Ireland have it twice as hard, because there is nothing more secretive than a government that doesn't meet at all. I realise when we talk about the government shutdown, people will say, but their side did this and their side did that. And those old arguments that still rage on, and there are those old arguments that still rage on seemingly eternally. And there are also those that now and have always been ready to come back into this building and get to work. But I'm not going to single anyone out, because that singling out has been what's happening in Northern Irish politics for decades, and it's just untenable. Any politician in this room or not in this room might be thinking, yes, but, as in, yes, but their side did this, yes, but their side did that. Surely at this point, anybody with any rationality must see that that attitude isn't getting us anywhere. And the people of Northern Ireland deserve better, much, much better. Either you care about democracy or you don't. Either you care about your constituents and their human rights or you don't. Either you care about making Northern Ireland a better, safer, more inclusive, more robust place, or you don't. The word politician comes from the Greek polis, unless you're Glaswegian, and then it means the police. But in the ancient Greek, it means city or state. So to be a politician means to be a custodian of that state and all the people in it, not just the ones that agree with you, or indeed just the ones that voted for you. A lot of politicians in this country seem to be making decisions with a view only, or at least mainly, to cause the most harm to the other side. But it hurts everyone, your side included. Whatever victory you think you're having is a Pyrrhic one in which everyone suffers, your side or their side. If everyone loses, it kind of makes the notion that there is such a thing as their side or your side a bit redundant. The fact is that everyone in Northern Ireland is suffering, whether it's because of this current government shutdown or the previous government shutdown, whether it's Brexit and its fallout, the pandemic, the mental health epidemic, the underfunded hospitals, nurses and doctors, the heating crisis, the food poverty crisis, or myriad other crises. During all that mayhem is not the time to shut down. Some people will be looking for clues and trying to, no doubt, to make out that I'm coming down harder on one side than the other. But I'm not. Anyone that knows me knows I have no affiliation to any Northern Ireland political party. And unless we realise that we are all to blame for this situation, then we'll never fix this. Everyone at some point in recent years has refused to work with the other side on something, so no one is blameless in this. I have an idea. It's bold, but hear me out. What if the leaders and senior members of all the parties sit down in a room together? I have a feeling there's an empty room around here somewhere. And in that room, what if you're not allowed to talk about politics for an hour? Instead, what if you talked about your families, your friends, books you like, movies you've seen, places you've gone or would like to go on your holidays, music you like to listen to? After today, I'm guessing, not Snow Patrol. You'll realise that it's not the devil that sits across from you. You'll realise that you are all human, that Protestants and Catholics are in fact humans first. And then you can get to work trying to make life better for the people of Northern Ireland. I say these things not because I dislike any of you, but only because I care about the people of Northern Ireland, and I know you do too. I think what gets lost sometimes is what should come first in our priorities. Political party or the people of Northern Ireland. Religion or the people of Northern Ireland. Nationality or the people of Northern Ireland. The answer to all those questions is the people of Northern Ireland. I'm not for a second saying you shouldn't feel proud of your religion or whether you feel British or Irish or Northern Irish like I do, or none of the above. If those things are a source of pride to you, then how the hell would I argue with that, and why would I want to? I am, in fact, delighted by anything anyone feels lifted or strengthened by. But don't let whatever lies at the core of your beliefs be the thing that arrests your empathy for someone else. If you are proud of being Irish, and the person across from you is proud of being British, you actually share something, pride in your nationality. So that's something you have in common. People will accuse me of both sidesism, and some hate that more than they hate the other side. At least you know where you stand with the other side. I can't stand these fence sitters. You just can't trust them. The old joke goes, man meets other man in the street. First man says, are you a Protestant or Catholic? Second man says, I'm a Buddhist. First man looks the second man up and down suspiciously and says, aye, but are you a Protestant Buddhist or a Catholic Buddhist? We will drill down into you until we figure out if you're friend or foe. But why? We live in a modern Northern Ireland where the general public are doing their best to foster peace, understanding, togetherness, trying to find some modicum of joy where possible, and trying to live in the present day. I've been a member of the Northern Ireland music scene for nearly 30 years, and in that time I've never been asked where I'm from and what religion I am. The people making music in Northern Ireland today couldn't care less where you're from. They want to know what's in your heart and soul. The majority of people in Northern Ireland want above all else peace and safety for their families and want to share Northern Ireland with everyone from every walk of life. Why is it then so hard to get our politicians even to share this building? I'm just a singer in a band. What the hell do I know? I certainly don't know how to fix the problems in Northern Ireland or indeed the world, but I do know that without a modicum of kindness and compromise, nothing ever changes. John Lennon once said, give peace a chance. And we did. Miraculously, we did. As a kid growing up here, I didn't think it would happen in my lifetime. None of us did. We were, in those early days of peace and reconciliation, not perfect for sure, but an example nonetheless to the rest of the world, and especially those places where conflict had become indelibly inked into the fabric of life. We were a wee beacon of hope that maybe, just maybe, whatever enduring conflict felt inexorable might one day come to an end. Janine Winterson, in her extraordinary novel Wait, said, the hells we invent are the hells we have known. And for 30 years or more, we invented hell every day. We knew that hell, and yet we invented it again every day. Until one day we didn't. Like some kind of magic trick I still don't fully comprehend, but I am so grateful for, and grateful too to all the men and women who figured out how not to invent hell. We didn't invent heaven, but we didn't invent hell. And we simply cannot afford to invent it again. As Japanese Nobel Prize-winning author Haruki Murakami said, there is no war that will end all wars, and there is nothing for us down that road. We cannot choose it, and we cannot invent it again. Yes, it's an oxymoron, but we fought hard for peace. Most of us realize that we have to keep fighting hard for peace, keep choosing peace every day. It's something we have to keep choosing for the present day and for the future. American revolutionary Patrick Henry said in 1775, give me liberty or give me death. Can we just have half of that, please? Can we just have liberty? Can we just have peace? Can we just have safety, integrity, security, healthcare, mental health care, education, electricity, equality, heat? Things that surely cannot be argued are inalienable human rights. Can we just make sure we have those things first? Then maybe, in your spare time, after the doors of Stormont close at the end of a long day of difficult but ultimately satisfying work, making life better for the people of Northern Ireland, you can all get together after work and argue. Thank you.